Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Toby. I read scary stories. I hate most of them. And today we're throwing that whole gimmick out the window. And we'll be looking at what Steven Universe tells us about science. But why, you ask? Well, because I have to for my degree. And I don't want to animate a whole other set of cells. So just bear with me, please. Play along. Pretend this is completely normal. Okay, here we go. For those of you who do not know, Steven Universe is my favorite cartoon, and it's a cartoon created by Rebecca Sugar. It aired between 2013 and 2019 on Cartoon Network and had a follow-up show called Steven Universe Future. The plot follows a half-human, half-alien child named Steven Universe, and his three alien stepmoms, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. Together, they defend their home in Beach City, Delmarva, and the humans who live there from other aliens trying to recolonize the Earth. And while this is a horribly vague summary, the most important thing to know is that these aliens are called gems, and they're made of light. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that they can combine with one another to make bigger, stronger alien gems called fusions. One of those fusions we are actually going to be talking about today, and that's garnet. Now, I know what you're thinking. Toby, what does this have to do with science? Well, Steven Universe actually does a pretty great job of explaining how homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures work through fusion. And that's the standard I'm going to be teaching today. Distinguish among mixtures, including solutions and pure substances. That's my official standard voice. So, without further ado, let's take a look at fusion. Here's a simple ruby gem, for example. She's a soldier gem. She's a common gem. Now, this ruby is about to form a homogeneous solution by fusing with another ruby. Now, we might even say these ruby gems are pure substances because they can't be broken up any further. They are just made of ruby, and that's it. Now, when they fuse, all parts of them combine evenly, so they make a bigger, better ruby. I know we don't have any aliens at home, or at least I think we don't, but we could try this with water, food coloring, and your imagination. But first, let's remember that if we are ever mixing chemicals at home, we should always wear protective equipment like a lab coat, gloves, and safety goggles. So now that you have all your safety gear on, let's take a glass of water and add that red food coloring. Red for ruby, right? Stir the food coloring all the way in so that all the red dissolves into the water evenly. All the rubies are now fused together. In Steven Universe, they would call that a fusion, but in science, we are going to call it a homogeneous solution. Well, you may ask, what if our common ruby soldier gem wanted to fuse with a different type of gem? And that's a great question. She would be fusing into heterogeneous mixture, which means the mixture isn't uniform or same throughout. So let's take our humble ruby soldier gem and have her fuse with a one-of-a-kind royal sapphire gem. Usually, two different gems are not supposed to mix or fuse together. That's just space alien rules, but we're rebels, so we're going to do it anyway. Now, when ruby and sapphire fuse, they turn into a different gem altogether called garnet. They don't dissolve all the way and therefore don't look exactly like a ruby or exactly like a sapphire. And would you look at that? Garnet is ready to do the experiment at home because she is wearing protective eye gear and gloves. Thanks, Garnet. At home, now that we are safe, we can use food coloring, water, and this time we are going to do something different. We're going to add oil to represent the difference in the mixtures. We will use some red food coloring for our ruby gem, of course, and blue food coloring for our lovely royal sapphire gem. And what should happen is, the water and the oil do not mix completely, so you're left with colorful bubbles of oil on the top. That's called the phase, by the way. And the food coloring sometimes sprinkles down and combines to make purple, just like garnet. Wow, so basically, garnet is a heterogeneous mixture because she is not uniform throughout. And that's a beautiful thing, right? Things don't need to be the same or even or homogeneous to make something really unique and valuable. Differences can be really special, just like garnet. Did you know that garnet is actually the first known fusion of two different gems? There's a great episode and storybook about it, also written by Rebecca Sugar, called The Answer. If you've read it or seen the episode, comment below. Let me know what you think. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that Steven Universe helps you learn a little more about what it means to be a homogeneous or heterogeneous mixture. If you like the nonsense I put on my channel, click the subscribe button, ring that bell to get the notifications. And in the words of E and JQ, thank you for watching the show.